Okay, and with that, we are going to dive into strategy. So, before we get into strategy, there's one more piece that I want to mention. Number one, when you are showing up today, and when you show up every single day for the rest of your life, I want you to ask yourself one question. This is the one question that's going to get you moving on days where you don't feel like it. This is going to get you moving when you're stuck in the weeds, when you're really shooting for the 9-figure mark. This is what's going to get you moving when you are having a hard time with your balancing your newborn baby and maybe your business or your relationship. This is the question that you need to be asking yourself every single day because you have a mission, you have a purpose, and you have a legacy that you are here to co-create with God. And here's the question. How much do you have to not love someone in order to not share your message with them? That's a big one. Let it sink in. I'm going to say that one more time. How much do you have to not love someone in order for you to not share your message with them? Potent, powerful. That question changes the game because it changes the perspective when you realize that your mission, your message, your purpose, your legacy isn't about you. It has nothing to do with you. We take you out of the equation. It has nothing to do with you. Sharing your love with your newborn baby has nothing to do with you. Sharing your love with your husband has nothing to do with you. Sharing your love with your clients has nothing to do with you. Because your message, your love is not coming from you. It's coming from God, and you are the vessel that multiplies it and pours it out into the world. Do you see that shift? When we take you out of the equation, it becomes so much easier to show up because you're not showing up for you, and you're not showing up of your own strength, of your own power, or of your own abilities. You are showing up because of who God is, because of God's love, because of God's power, because of God's abilities. And this is how you go from a little girl who doesn't know how to do math to a rocket scientist, how you go from a little girl who is raising her little brother for 5 years to becoming the business owner, to going from a $0 business to scaling and being in the process of scaling to 9 figures and beyond. Okay. Whatever your past is, whatever your story is, whatever you have been through in your life, that is your rocket fuel. And at the same time, your story has nothing to do with you. Your story are circumstances that God has placed in your life to help you grow, to help you learn something, to help you share and be the embodiment of love and truth in this world so that you may share that with others. Crazy, right? Because we never think about taking ourselves out of the equation. We don't show up online when you're starting your business. How many of you are going to want to be new business owners or are new business owners or say you're going to be new business owners? It's hard showing up online when you make it about you because then you think, okay, all of my peers are going to judge me. All of my coworkers are going to judge me. All of my friends are going to judge me. But when you realize it's not about you, it's about God, everything becomes easier because you're not doing it of your own strength. Now, for my existing business owners, it becomes so much easier to scale from 6 to 7 figures, 7 to 8, 8 to 9, when you realize you are not doing this of your own strength. You are not doing it by yourself. You are not doing it because of your own capabilities. You are doing it because of who God is. You are scaling to 9 figures so that you can create a lifelong legacy that outlasts you. You are scaling to 9 figures so that you can create a charitable foundation and serve the people in your community, so that you can give back to your family and your friends, so that you can give back to your community, the place that raised you. You are scaling to 9 figures to create something that stands the test of time, that shows and displays how powerful love is in this world. That's one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about helping leaders grow their legacy, because There is something amazing that happens when good women use their money, because good women use their money for good. Look at the world. There are so many forces of evil working overtime, forces of darkness and spiritual warfare working overtime to outweigh the good. And they have to work 10 times as hard as good does. So when we have one incredible powerhouse woman filled with love, filled with truth, willing to be a vessel for God's love, she can do 100 times more with her goodness, with her money, with her time than evil can. Because her power isn't of her own accord, it comes from God. So whenever you are thinking about building your legacy, you get to realize that showing up every day, showing up on days when it's hard, has nothing to do with you. I know a lot of you are newborn mamas. You don't show up and breastfeed your baby at 2 o'clock in the morning because it's good for you. You do it because you love your baby. You do it because it's good for your baby. It's what your baby needs to grow. It's the love that your baby needs at this point in their life. If your husband is sick, you don't take care of them because it's good for you. You might even get sick. You take care of your husband because you love him, because it's good for him. You see how everything is interconnected, legacy and love and leadership. Your financial success in your business with your love, with your relationships, they're not separated, they're interconnected. Because everything comes from the same place. It comes from love and it comes from truth. When you are building on love and truth, that is your rock, that is your foundation that will never, ever, ever be shaken. It's like when we invite the Holy Spirit at the beginning of our call into our midst, into our presence, into our bodies. And a lot of you ladies were saying that you felt like grounded, you felt rooted, you felt stable. That is the force of the Holy Spirit. And that is the same force that you can structurally design your business around, your leadership and your legacy. So yesterday, we talked about the multiplication factor of the feminine. When you give the feminine a teeny tiny seed, she turns it into a whole entire baby, right? And that's organic. She doesn't have to think about it. She doesn't have to tell her cells how to multiply, how to reproduce. They just do it. The same is true when you invite the Holy Spirit into your business, into your love, your leadership, and your legacy. So you don't need, like we said yesterday as well, you don't know and you are not equipped for where you're going to be 40 years down the line. Nor should you be. Otherwise, you would already be there. You are not equipped for where you're going 40 years down the line, which means the way to get there is unpredictable. You don't know how you're going to get there. You just know that you're going to get there. Just like you don't know how you are going to grow a baby inside of you whenever you're pregnant, you just do it. So, and that right there, that piece of knowing you're just going to do it is the faith piece. That's the piece that we talked about yesterday. We talked about faith and all the fruits of faith. And that is your competitive advantage in the marketplace. That's the piece of the puzzle that 90% of small businesses don't have, because this is the piece of the puzzle that provides you with sustainability and longevity. Because when you know you're not doing something of your own strength, of your own accord, of your own power, you're doing it because of God's power, because of who God is. You never get burned out. It's sustainable, and sustainable is scalable. Sustainable provides you longevity. It provides you the success for the long term. This is a 40-year down the line plan. Okay, so whenever you are developing your team, do we want to talk about team today? Who wants to talk about team today? Whenever you are developing your team and onboarding your clients and onboarding your new team members, you get to bring that into your company culture. And that starts with how you show up as a founder every single day.